The Standard Bank 5150 Ekurhuleni African Championship, in its third year, welcomed over 1,200 athletes to one of the biggest standard distance events in Africa. The 5150, being a standard distance event, is shorter than an Ironman 70.3 race and serves as a perfect introduction into the sport of triathlon. Often newcomers get a taste of the sport and would go on to compete in the longer distance events, perhaps even the full Ironman.
I think when we took a decision to host this event, we only had a glimpse of what it would be. But now that we're running into the third year of hosting this event, it has been a very good decision. In fact, it has performed beyond our expectation.
ITU star Henry Schoeman was looking to take his third consecutive title.
I love the course. It's a great venue and it's a great race. Coming here to defend my title for the third time, and yeah, it looks good. It's a bit breezy today. Should be interesting on the bike, but it should be fast, and looking forward to that.
Well, I'll try and swim as fast as I can and maintain on the bike, and then running is my strong point, so I hope to catch up on the run.
The first wave of the day set off for their swim at Germiston Lake. The professionals and age group elites, ahead of them a 1.5 kilometer swim. No doubt that Henry Schoeman would be the early favourite and easily the strongest swimmer as he set the early pace, unsurprisingly so. With 3/4 of the swim complete, Schoeman had a sizable gap. Swimming being one of his strongest disciplines, Schoeman was determined to have a big enough gap leading into transition and out onto the bike. He left T1 with a 2-minute lead. Rudolf Nodier exited the water in second place. He would have to work hard to make up the difference.
The swim started out, I was feeling really tired, so I didn't know if I was swimming fast or I was swimming slow, and I was just behind a group, and the water was really choppy out there, so it was really difficult, especially to breathe. I was swallowing a lot of water. But when I got out the water, I was about 1 minute and 20 seconds behind Lucy, so it seems like it was then an okay swim.
The Green Caps, the age group men 18 to 34, making their way to the swim start.
5150 Triathlon is a global triathlon series which takes in the standard distance series, so it's a 1.5k swim plus a 40k bike plus a 10k run. If you add that up, it's 51.50 kilometers. The swim course is in Germiston Lake. The visibility is really good. You can actually see fish in the water and water plants and stuff like that. So it's a very pleasant swim. When it is windy, it's a bit choppy, like today. It is just a good open water swimming experience.
As the age groupers set out on the first leg of their race, further forward in the field, it was still Schoeman dominating the pro race, setting the pace. Also in the mix now, Xterra star Bradley Weiss, just ahead of Nodier, as Schoeman stretched his lead to 3 minutes just before reaching the turnaround at 20 kilometers. Claire Horner and Rihanna Robertson were now doing the chasing in the women's race, as Steyn worked her way to the number 1 position, leaving Zelenkova and Schultz to battle it out for second position. Cindy Schultz managed to stay ahead of Zelenkova all the way to the turnaround point. Zelenkova was not letting Schultz out of her sight. The age group athletes were leaving the water and heading into T1. 4 age group waves would be set off in 15-minute intervals after the pro and elite field. For most athletes, the most difficult part of their race had been completed. Weiss and Nodier were still together as they tried to close the gap to Schoeman. Brad Edwards was catching up to the chasers as the 3 athletes were made to work hard. The final push for Schoeman. No doubt he'd want a big enough gap so that he can have a comfortable run. He entered transition with a bike split of just under 58 minutes. Nodier, not wasting any time, blitzed in and out of transition. Weiss had his work cut out, considering Schoeman's form.
Yeah, the bike course was actually quite nice. It was there weren't too many hills, and it was a little bit windy. But I'm from East London, so I'm really used to that. So yeah, it was just one lap, so that was nice, and you could really just put your head down and go hard.
A strong effort from Schultz at the end enabled her to drop Zelenkova as she made her way to transition. The Czech athlete trailing by just over 2 minutes. Steyn, meanwhile, looked strong and had a swift transition, constantly building on her lead. Schultz soon followed. She'd put in time on Zelenkova. Her biggest goal now would be to maintain the gap and try and hold on to second place, possibly even push for the win.
What's unique about this 40k bike course is that there's only 2 crossover points over the entire course. That's when athletes go onto the N17 and coming off. They cycle between the Gosford Toll Plaza and the Dell Park Toll Plaza. We put them in the fast lane. It becomes a 60k zone for the traffic, and then the athletes ride around the centre aisle between the 2 plazas, and then they come off again back on Russell Road, Lake Road, and back into the venue. That is a unique feature of this race, is the bike course. It is undulating hills, but for a strong cyclist it's a very pleasant course, and the road surface obviously on Sunroll's N17 is superb.
So, from the gun, Schoeman was leading the race. Careful not to push too hard on the run, anything can happen.
Yeah, I could see I had quite a big lead after the bike, and I wanted to try and push myself, but I was feeling the heat and the altitude, and I thought I would just maintain it at a good rhythm, and so I don't do anything wrong and I can win comfortably. Every race I just give 100% from the beginning. I don't use tactics, I just go give my best, and it just happens that I'm in the front from the swim and I maintain on the bike and maintain on the run, so I'm happy with that, leading all the way.
He was followed by Weiss, Edwards, Nordier, who would surely capitalize on any mistake up front. Steyn was in good form, looking great on the run. However, Schultz was not going to make it easy for her. She was going at a moderate pace as she still had Zelenkova to worry about. Schoeman looked nowhere near tired. The ITU athlete, being used to racing hard from the outset, knew that if he kept a good rhythm and pace, he could make this his 3rd consecutive Standard Bank 5150 Ekurhuleni African Championship title, and that is exactly what he did. Weiss just managed to lose second place to Michael Davidson, who put in an exceptional run after trailing far behind after the swim and bike. Some cramping for his efforts. Rudolf Nordier ending up in 4th position. In the pro women field, only 1 lap remained, and it was still Andrea Steyn setting the pace. Andrea Steyn with a well-deserved first place, also her 3rd consecutive win at the Standard Bank 5150 Ekurhuleni African Championship. Schultz making her way back to the red carpet, she would claim 2nd place. Zelenkova, always smiling, super happy with 3rd position. The Standard Bank 5150 Ekurhuleni African Championship, the ideal race for athletes of all abilities and experience because of the achievable distances. Another reason this is the race of choice for first-time athletes and anyone else curious about the sport is the fact that it offers the opportunity for athletes to enter as a relay team, a very popular choice with 30 teams entered this year.
As you all know, Standard Bank has been in a partnership with Ironman for the past year. And in celebration of this milestone, we would like to take this opportunity to honour the Standard Bank Ironman's 1st anniversary. Since the beginning of our relationship in November 2014, we have created some magical moments and started an inspiring journey which led us to dig deeper into our own understanding of the athletes and supporters to truly become part of this season triathlon series of events. Thank you for your never-ending support. Through your encouragement, we have been able to persevere and be continuously dedicated to growing the triathlon sport in South Africa. Standard Bank would like to congratulate all participants that have been an integral part of the Standard Bank Ironman series of events. We hope you're ready to never stop moving forward with Standard Bank Ironman in 2016. All the best.
The support of the title sponsor, Standard Bank, is what keeps the 5150 Ekurhuleni African Championship moving forward. However, nothing would be possible without the athletes and all of their support. Well done to each and every athlete who attempted and finished the 2015 Standard Bank 5150 Ekurhuleni African Championship. We hope to see you again, and hopefully this will take you on to even more races.